New game mechanics? New game mechanics? What? That would be awesome if they added new game mechanics. And here's a bunch of new game mechanics that I think would do really well in Grounded.
Whoa, I'm not just small, I'm tiny. This is freaking awesome!
What up? It's Tiny Power Gaming, and in this video, I'll be going over 7 game mechanics that I think would do really well in Grounded. That I think they should add. They should find a way to incorporate these game mechanics into Grounded to make the game, that much better. For those of you who are wondering, I already think it's awesome, but I want to see it become even more awesome. I want to see it become super awesome. That would be really cool. Cool. But let's get into this list. Number 7. So this first one is real easy. It's real simple, and I think they can do it real quick, and that is a quick swap of the armor you're wearing with the armor on an armor dummy. So you can just walk up to it, boom, 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 and swap the armor real quick without having to go into a bunch of menus and doing a bunch of stuff and making it real complicated. You just walk up and just inventory swap or armor swap, and you press a button, and boom, you're wearing that armor, and the armor you were wearing is now on the armor dummy. I think that would be a really cool game mechanic. That would just, be a quality of life improvement for the player. They did it. They already did it. They added the ability to swap your armor with the armor that's on the armor dummy, and they already did it. They did it before I even put the video out. So that's how on top of things the Grounded dev team is. So for all you people out there who want to put in the comments, like, it's a small team. Oh my God, they can't do all this stuff. What's wrong with you? Asking for all this stuff. Gosh, don't you know it's a small team? Well, yeah, I know it's a small team, but they're a good team. They're an amazing team. And what, you don't have faith in them? You don't have confidence in them? I have absolute confidence in them. Look how good they are. They literally read my mind. Number 6. All right, so this one, I was questioning adding in, but it came from other players, so I decided to add it in because a lot of other players said that they thought this would be something worthwhile. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to explain how I think this could be incorporated in a way that wouldn't make the player too OP, and that is a 4th perk slot for specifically survivability perks. Now, what I mean by that is you got your meat shield, you got your buff lungs, you got your juicy. These are sort of permanent perks. These are sort of perks that are survival-based, not build or combat-based. Then you would still have your 3 other slots for building or for combat situations, or for inventory management if they ever add inventory management perks. But that's what I was thinking, because Meat Shield is sort of one of those perma perks. It's a perk that, as a player, why are you not going to have extra HP? Like, the Meat Shield should be just a permanent boost to your health for paying a certain amount of raw science. The Buff Lungs should be a permanent perk that you purchase, perhaps increase the raw science cost or something like that. But these should be perks that you shouldn't have to activate. They're sort of survivability perks that in a normal survival game you would get from the leveling system, from your experience leveling, or allocating your attribute points, I guess is the proper way to say it. But in this game, since it's unique, it's a unique survival game that doesn't use a leveling system or a combat system to build experience points. Perks like that, I think, should have a permanent placeholder within the thing. Even if you can only have one, like you can choose, you're gonna have meat shield, you're gonna have buff lungs, or you're gonna have juicy. But only one of those 3 fills that one slot, and then you get the 3 others for combat perks or for building perks or inventory management. If Obsidian Entertainment decides to add perks for carrying extra stuff, or, I don't know, reducing the slot cost of certain items, or increasing the stack amount, perks like that I think would be really cool. So this is sort of a 2-for-1. But that's how I think the perk system could be enhanced for the player and for the gameplay situation within Grounded. Number 5. Speaking of inventory management, let's talk about the backpack. I think if there were backpack pouches, specific ones for tools, for food, for raw resources, for crafted resources, something like that, or something as simple as allowing the player to assign backpack slots just like they assign hot pouch slots if they want to, so that their inventory will always be sort of organized. So, because I don't know about anybody else, but when I pick up a backpack after something terrible happens, I always have to go in and reorder everything because I like my inventory to be nice and neat. I like my tools and stuff to be in that top row, and then everything beneath it is the stuff that I gather, so that when I drop off at my supply depot, it's easy. I don't have to worry about accidentally dropping a tool in a box or something like that. But I think that's sort of a inventory switch up like that, where you got food pouches or tool pouches, or just assigning inventory slots for the player, would be an awesome game mechanic that would really boost Grounded. Make it awesome. Make it super awesome. Number 4. Ooh, yeah, I tell you what would be a good old-fashioned game mechanic that would make Grounded so much better, and that is multi-crafting. Multi-crafting of things like fiber bandages and bug rubber and the smoothies, so that we can craft these things much faster than the way we currently do, which is to either tap the button over and over and over again, or in the case of the smoothies, it's even worse. You got to keep moving all these materials down into the bottom to craft them. Now, you can do it a little bit faster using the known recipes, but still, it is a long process if you're trying to craft a lot of smoothies or a lot of fiber bandages or a lot of bug rubber. So I'm just saying a multi-craft for things like that would be greatly beneficial, especially using the new proximity crafting system that was introduced with the last update. Number 3. All right, so I'm going to say this right now, and that is more sports-themed builds, more sports-themed actual equipment. What I mean by this is you already got the basketball hoop in there, and we can already have fun with it by throwing pebblets at it. But imagine you make a basketball, and when the player has the basketball equipped, it goes into a dribbling animation, and then they can actually throw it, and it sort of shoots instead of throws. For example, also more sports-themed build stuff, like you could already use the throw and the swing mechanic to sort of play baseball. And if we had like baseball diamond build stuff, now you can sort of already do this with what's in the game. You can build backstops, but make it grounded themed, obviously. Find a way to use the resources of the backyard so that they can make a grounded themed, baseball diamond or a basketball court, or even the kick animation. We can make soccer goals and have a soccer field too. These sorts of things I think would be really cool additions, and players can already sort of do this in the game. But just like the basketball hoop, if you made it like where it lights up like a goal, like a soccer goal, where when you kick something through it, it lights up and it shoots off little fireworks, or a baseball. I don't know how you do it with the baseball, but the game mechanics already exist for the player to play a little game of, at least, batting practice. And I've mentioned before in an earlier video, a way old video, that there should be like a gnat launcher, so that it's like a batting cage, and it just shoots gnats out at you, and you just bat them. I think that would be really cool. But again, it's just crazy ideas here. But yeah, I think more sports build equipment and build materials, along with some animation reworks, depending on if you're carrying a basketball or maybe even a soccer ball, and then they have a special kick dribbling animation. I don't know. Something like that would really enhance the fun that players could have within their grounded backyards. Number 2, a bug bashing battle arena. This would be really cool. A way to somehow lure or capture the bugs into a specific arena, and then a way to trigger them to combat each other, so that you can just sit back in your cool arena and invite your friends over, and you can all watch a bunch of bug bashing battles. Arena Coliseum style build features, flags, banners that hang off the wall, stuff like that. I think would be really cool, really fun, exciting stuff to add. And if you're wondering how to make that function within the grounded game world, well, the game mechanics already exist in a ton of other games, most notably Fallout 4. Fallout 4 already has this arena build combat mechanic with capture cages and a way to trigger the arena combat to start, and it's just really fun. It gives the player something fun to do, and especially in the grounded universe, where you can have these arenas set up and then invite your friends over and be like, okay, look what I caught, look what we're about to see bash, what do you think's gonna win? fun stuff like that. Or you can pit your friends up against what you've caught. Stuff like that. I think it would be really fun, really cool, really exciting game mechanic. And I'm not done talking about it because there's another video coming out where I'm actually going to go more in depth into some of these things that I'm talking about in this video. Some of them, they're going to be totally new, but it has a bunch of my own concept artwork in it that I'm showing off. And I think it'll be really fun. And if you're a Grounded fan, you should maybe check it out. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget, smash that like button. It does me a huge favor. I really appreciate it. It would really mean a lot to me if you just smash that like button. And if you're enjoying the video and you want to see more Grounded-related, Grounded-themed content here on Tiny Pirate Gaming, well, don't forget to subscribe.
Number 1.
Yeah, it's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and in my opinion, it's one of the greatest survival games ever made. Fight me on that. Seriously, in the comments, try to tell me that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is not one of the greatest survival games ever made. Seriously, fight me on that. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up now is because I think the climbing mechanic from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild would do really well in Grounded, especially the way that it incorporates stamina. So that way when we're climbing, it depends on how much stamina we have. So it's not just like this everlasting thing where we can climb over all the obstacles, but it's something that we have to think about strategically depending on how much stamina we have. And, should we activate buff lungs? It would actually give buff lungs a significant reason to exist if our climbing stamina was based off the stamina. I think you guys get what I'm saying here. That being said, there's a bunch of other awesome game mechanics from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that I think would do really well in Grounded. One of them being the glider. You guys ever noticed that? It's called the glider slot, but all we have is an umbrella. Really, it's just like a parachute. We float around. We just float down out of the sky like we're Mary frickin' Poppins or something. So what's up with that? Why can't we get a glider like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? That glider's freaking awesome. Fight me on that. Tell me it's not an awesome glider. Seriously though, this is an awesome game mechanic that I think should be added in there. And there's more. The temperatures, the weather mechanic within Grounded, or within Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I think is the way that a weather mechanic should be incorporated into Grounded. And that is, in Breath of the Wild, if you're in the desert, you got to wear cool clothes. If you're in the mountains and it's cold, you got to wear warm clothes. If you're in the volcano, you got to wear a special suit, otherwise you'll burn up. I think that sort of mechanic, depending on the biomes, it would enhance each biome a little bit. It would make them each distinctive, each unique, meaning the player has to really think it out. You got to bring certain gear depending on which biome you're visiting on your explorations in the backyard. And the way Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild does it, I think is the way it should be done in Grounded, if it's ever added as a game mechanic. Finally, I'm just going to mention this. I don't think it'll ever actually be added into Grounded or if they'll change up the combat system. But Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has an amazing combat system. Between the perfect blocking, the sidestepping, the lock-ons, all of that, I think, if they really want to rework the programming and all that and the coding, and I don't know much about game development, and I don't know how much work that would be, but I think something as simple as adding a lock-on function and the ability for the player to perform quick sidesteps instead of always perfect blocking. Because I know the perfect blocking, some of the players have trouble with it. And also, if you're playing online and you're not the host, you can't really perfect block, but if you add a quick sidestep maneuver with a lock-on function, at least maybe without perfect multiplayer stability, players could play multiplayer and actually not die every time they're in combat because they can't block. I'm just saying. But seriously, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a lot of the game mechanics from that game, I think, in my opinion, would do really well in Grounded. And there you go. 7 game mechanics that I think could really make Grounded a much better game. If you agree with these ideas, let me know in the comments. Or if you have any other game mechanics that you think would really enhance the gameplay experience in Grounded, well, let me know in the comments too. Just let me know. Be like, hey, here's a cool game mechanic that I think would be really cool in Grounded. And then also, if you really think it's awesome, write a suggestion up and put it in the Grounded Discord, and maybe the game developers will actually consider it. And they'll put it up for vote in the community, and if the community upvotes it, they'll present it to the game developers. That's the way it works over there. So if you have a great game mechanic or great idea, or if you like these game mechanics, we'll head on over there and upvote them. Because the Grounded development team is very active in the community. So they actually do want to hear our suggestions and our ideas and anything we think could be done to the game to make it better. That's how, it's such an amazing game with such an amazing development team behind it. So don't anyone ever hesitate to throw your ideas out there. Just like teachers used to say in school, there's no dumb question. I mean, that's not entirely true. But throw your suggestions out there, whether they're crazy, whether they're wacky, or whether they're just mundane. Just throw them out there, and maybe you never know. You never know who will watch it. You never know who will listen. You never know who will agree. But anyway, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, you can let me know by smashing that like button. I'd really appreciate it. You're doing me a huge favor. And if you want to see more grounded-related, grounded-themed content here on Tiny Pirate Gaming, well, I hope this video earned your subscription today. And if it did earn your subscription, don't forget to ring that little bell so you can join the hashtag Tiny Crew and, always be notified whenever I upload a new video here on Tiny Pirate Gaming. Also, if you want to come hang out with me or the rest of the hashtag Tiny Crew, well, I live stream over on Twitch. My stream schedule's on the screen. And you should consider following me over there so that you'll be notified whenever I go live. And sometimes I do surprise live streams. So if you ever want to be notified about a surprise live stream, you could also follow me over on Twitter. That's where I announce all the channel news, or if there's going to be a delay in stream, or if I'm going to be early for stream. That's where I do my communication with the rest of the Tiny Crew, is mainly over on Twitter. I'm working on building a Discord, so if that's easier for you, that's coming in the future of Tiny Pirate Gaming. But that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate everyone tuning in, everyone watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Arg, matey, watch your step. There be a tiny pirate here.